Good morning. Isn't it great that we can be together? It's Friday morning. I'm running a bit late with my coffee and chat, but I hope you got your cup of coffee. I hope you've got time to spend with me as we just have a coffee and chat. I'd like to deal with something this morning that has been just raised its head over the last few days, and that is confusion. Yesterday we had the Department of Education trying to clear up the air about what's going to happen with education. And really, they left us a little bit more confused than we started with in the beginning. I came across this little video clip. I'd like to just show you a bit of it, and then we can enjoy our coffee as we chat afterwards.
Yeah, I really don't understand why everybody isn't following the same rules right now. They're very clear. So let's take a minute and let's go over them again. First, you must not leave the house for any reason, unless of course you have a reason, and then you may leave the house. All stores are closed except those that are open. And all stores must close unless, of course, they need to stay open. This virus is deadly, but don't be afraid of it. It can only kill people who are vulnerable and also those who are not vulnerable. We should stay locked down until the virus stops infecting people. And it will only stop infecting people if enough of us get infected that we build immunity. So it is very important that we get infected and also do not get infected. You should not go to the doctor's office or the hospital unless you have to go there. Unless, of course, you are too sick to go there. This virus has no effect on children except for those children in which it affects. The virus remains active on different surfaces for 2 hours or 4 hours or 6 hours, but in most cases it's days and not hours, and it needs a damp environment or a cold environment that is warm and dry in the air, unless the air is plastic. Schools are closed, so you need to homeschool your children unless you can send them to school because you are not home. If you are at home, you can school your children using various portals and online classrooms unless you have poor internet, more than one child, only one computer, or you are working from home. Baking cakes can't...
You see, there is confusion about many things. Do I, don't I, should I, shan't I? And we can be carried away by the confusion and the pulling in different directions. It can become very stressful. It can become very confusing. But more than that, it can start working on us and making us feel quite fretful because there's just so much insecurity around us. I want to take you to a passage I'm sure you know so well in 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 7. It says this: For God did, let me try that again. For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and of sound discipline. The self-discipline, in some of the translations, it says there, and of a sound mind. We are called to be discerning. We are called to look at the situation and to sum it up, to use our brains, to engage our brains, not to be carried along with the crowd, not to be caught off guard, but we are to put our hope and our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ. And that is where we are called to serve him in every way. Remember the passage in Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. That is what we are called to do. We are called to sum up the world around us, sum up life around us, and then we need to put God in the middle of that. Not forgetting that God is always in control. Psalm 143, it says this in verse 8. Let the morning bring your word to me, O Lord, your unfailing love, for I have put my trust in you. Show me the way I should go, for to you I lift up my soul. Our whole life is lived to follow God, to do what he has called us to do. And in this time of the coronavirus, COVID-19, of the infections, of the infection rates increasing, of the communication we're getting from supposed authorities just conflicting with each other, we need to ask ourselves, who is really in control and who are we going to trust? Now we get advice from people around us. We get the authorities giving us the position. But ultimately, God is in control, and He's the one we need to follow and listen to. With that in mind, we've got some folk in our family that are struggling. They're struggling physically, they're struggling mentally, they're struggling emotionally because they've been cut off. There are many that are single and locked away alone in their homes. They've got no one to contact, no one to be with, and it is a concerning issue. What I'd like to do is I'd like to start people praying for each other here at St. Andrews. So what I would like to do is as we do with the prayer group, to ask people to pray for each other. I'll get permission to pass on names and phone numbers, and then what we'll do is we'll put you in touch so that you can phone, have a chat, and pray for, and maybe even over the phone with that person. So if you would like to be part of that, will you send me a WhatsApp or an email or an SMS, and we can then see how we can put St. Andrew's family together to be praying for each other. I'd love to have a whole network of people right throughout the church praying for one another, for their problems, for their families. Maybe those folk who've now been exposed to the coronavirus, maybe there are folks that are in hospital, maybe they are sick, maybe they are just those who are lonely, need a voice, need someone to just reach out, chat to them, and encourage them. So if you want to be part of that, please contact me and let me know, and then I will link up all those links together, and hopefully by the end of the week or so, we'll have everybody on the St. Andrews list praying for each other. So God bless you. It's been a lovely time. Remember that God has given us a mind that is not swayed, but a mind that is sound, and He has given us the discernment for us to discern between right and wrong. My love to you, God's blessing, and goodbye.